What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to NFL Sunday Week 8. We got a good one in store today. Tampa Tones here alongside Joey Nips as we blast peacefully into this NFL Sunday. No Bucks football to suffer through, so that's good for any of you Go Bucks fans tuning in at this point in time after 3 in a row. It's Joey Nips and it's Tampa Tones here on the Buccateers pod. We'll be right back. We're going to let the intro roll. We're not going anywhere. Get your questions, get your comments, and so much more ready here on the Buccateers. We'll be back in a flash. We're on YouTube, Bucs Life Media, Facebook, Twitter, and so much more. Game on Sunday, man. I know you're nervous for the Rams, but you got to be a little enthusiastic after being there.
Bro, that game atmosphere was ridiculous. The energy, the electricity. That place was rocking. Anyone was there, and a lot of the Super Buck fans were there too. The Bucks.
Tampa Tones. We are joined by lead goon tonight, host of the Pat and Aaron show of WDAE, Pat Donovan. And it sounds like Stunna is bumbling a little bit. Going to put him on mute for a second until that gets a little clear. But we're joined by Pat Donovan.
It looks like Stunna's hanging out with Cheech and Chong in a car with the windows up or something over there.
It does look like we got a little...
No, my camera's broke.
Oh, and we got Michael Myers in the house. Happy Halloween Eve. Let's hope the Colts play better than he does in the last Halloween movie today, as he totally underwhelmed in that. But we're grooving there on Halloween Sunday. It's Joey Nips, Michael Myers, whatever the hell you want to call him, Tampa Tones here. We're here to bring you gambling advice. Get us your questions in, prop bets, over, under, spreads. I'm shocked you could breathe under that thing. And fantasy football talk and so much more here on the Buccateers pod. It's a little bit of a new edition. We did it last year during the bye week, and we're going to keep it up. We got Neil in the building, say what it do, and we got Joey Nips in the building co-hosting, so we'll bring him in. Joey, how the hell are you? New era of Colts ball today. Sam Ellinger in the building.
Absolutely. We're going with Texas forever today. It's going to be a great day, great time. And my theme of the day is going to be double-digit dogs. And I'll talk about that later, but that's going to be my one thing I want to hit on is the double-digit dogs. But yes, it's Sammy Ellinger's day today. Texas is back. The Colts are back. We are going to be put on the map and go over 500 starting at 325 today.
I think Colts fans would all be thrilled at that. They have a very good opportunity in doing so as they face a backup quarterback themselves in Taylor Heineke. Although he ain't a flash in the pan guy. You still got to prep for him, and you got to be ready to roll. We'll get into that game and so much more, spreads, over unders in a little bit here. I just want to take a quick minute or two to talk about the Thursday game. If there are Bucs fans listening, if there are any watching this Sunday morning. It was pitiful and disgusting performance all around. The defense, as you know, got shredded by just about any measure of the imagination on the ground game. It starts up front with Vita Vea not playing up to par, then goes to Devin White. Then it goes to secondary injuries. We're getting outcoached, outperformed. We're getting outplayed on offense. Tom Brady and Mike Evans have miscommunication this late in the game. That should be a little concerning if it doesn't concern you. They're in year 3 together. 2 future Hall of Famers, and they can't get any worth the crap going on the ground, it seems. So, I don't know, a little bit of trouble brewing in Tampa, and just like that, we are not even in first in this bad NFC South anymore. As James Rubright, the Godfather, is joining us on Facebook. How the hell are you this morning, James? Hopefully it's better than the Bucs. But, Joe, this talk will lead us into the NFC South game right off the bat here. Battle for first place today. Falcons, Panthers. We got a battle of the backup quarterback, so we'll keep that theme going as we got Pajamas Walker starting for the Panthers, and we got Marcus Mariota, he's their starter, but he's going to be a backup sometime soon. For the Falcons, who do you like in this one right now? Falcons are laying 4 at home, over under 41 points. Winner of that game is in the lead for the division today. Who we liking and why?
Well, I'm going to take a little excerpt from the Pat McAfee book right here and start by saying all the things I like about Carolina. I absolutely love PJ Walker and what he does for that team as he came from the Indianapolis Colts. I absolutely love them around Mike Wilkes. They're getting things going well. They had a nice big win that against Tom Brady on their home field. Now they're in this
Steve
position
Wilkes,
with
by the way.
Yeah, well, that's how good he is in my book. So, but going around to it, the Falcons are the team you want to watch for today. As I screwed up the Panthers' name, I cannot take them as they will not be looking so good. If I look at the spread and the over/under, though, because everyone always cares about the money, and who better to listen to and lose money than myself, I'm going to take the Falcons giving 4 points. And that over/under, I just don't like low-scoring football. I don't know about you, but I say they put up some points here. I'm going to take the over and give the 4 with Atlanta. Atlanta is 6-1 against the spread, and the Panthers are 2-5 against the spread. So I'm going to stick with the numbers. I'm going to stick with the odds makers. I'm going to take Atlanta, give up the points, and take the over. Hopefully you see some excitement out of these 2 running style QBs today, in which are different ways.
Yeah, I'm going with Atlanta as well, given the 4. Listen, this Panthers team ain't that good. Don't let a win over a struggling Bucks team right now fool you. Carolina doesn't have much going for them. They traded McCaffrey. They traded Robbie Anderson, although they could win and be in first today, so they do have that playing for them. But at the same time, they don't have a current quarterback of the future on that roster. I think they're more so looking for that. While Atlanta, they have a really realistic chance now at this point of the game of getting a game lead in the division on this Bucks team and really getting a good handle on the NFC South at this point in time under young head coach Art Smith. I like the Falcons shelling out the 4 today, and I love the over in this one. I think these defenses that are banged up are going to be vulnerable to mistakes today, and they could create points with these quarterbacks, say fumbles happen and so forth. So I see this one hitting over pretty dang good. I see them getting at least 48 points, like a 24-24 type ball game midway through the 4th or whatnot. So I'm really liking the way that game is shaping out for the over. And I think by the end of the day, Atlanta should be the ones in first in the NFC.
And I know since Steve Wilkes is watching, I apologize from Appalachian State University, West Charleston Charlotte High School. I got a lot of info on this 53-year-old gray specimen of a man now. Sorry, Mr. Steve Wilkes.
Well, he was not too great in Arizona. He was a one and done. He was 1 and 15.
What if he's watching the show?
Well, if he's watching, he should be ashamed of himself because he's got a big game coming up, and there's a couple of other things I'd rather be watching. But I think he's got to be he's fighting for his life right now. He's going to be coaching to win. But are the players going to be playing to win? I don't think so. I think that they got lucky that a Bucks team was ridiculously out-prepped and out-coached last week. So we'll see how that goes. Speaking of out-coach, a man who's used to that, Mike McCarthy down in Dallas. He's won a Super Bowl in his career, but at this point he's been quote-unquote hindering Dallas. But they are off to an immaculate start this year. They do have Dak Prescott back at quarterback. They're giving 10 points to the Bears today. Bears are coming off a Monday night win against the Bill Belichick-led Patriots. So that was a little bit of a stunner. Dallas laying the 10, over under 42.5. Where's your head at in this one? Pretty big spread. I think the second biggest of the day.
Oh, and this plays right into my theme of the day with the double dogs. Shout out to Tim Crowley, hot dog spreads of the day. There's 3 games with double digits. One being this game, Chicago at Dallas. I like the Bears. Give me the 10 points there. If I'm parlaying today and making my one parlay bet, it's going to be right here. I'm taking the Packers plus the 10.5 as a double-digit dog there. That'll be number 2. And number 3, I would take the Steelers plus 11 points against the Eagles. So that's my parlay and theme of the day, double dog day. But to stick to the game you're talking about specifically in Chicago and Dallas, the reason I like Chicago is not all because of what they did in New England last week. Yes, does that help? Of course. But at the same time, they've been a scrappy football team all year. 10 points is a lot. Dallas did not look very impressive against a Detroit team last week who's withering, and they're not biting kneecaps anymore. Dan Campbell might be biting a welfare check sooner than later. But that being said, the Chicago Bears could stay in this game, and I think they will keep it close till the end. Do I think they win? Probably not. But I'm taking Chicago in the points. Why not? We live in the great city. I'm taking them today with the points.
Man, you're really hating on Danny Campbell here. That's sad.
You hated on my boy, Mr. Wilkes.
You didn't even know his name.
Hey, it's an early show.
If that's your boy, hey, all I can say is wow. But yeah, I'm going with, if I had to choose, I'm going with the under in the Bears Cowboys game today. I don't see a path for the Bears to getting many points, and I think the Cowboys without Ezekiel Elliott, although Tony Pollard has been more explosive at times, that's more of a two-back system at that point, so that's actually a bigger loss than it appears on the surface in that one. So I'm going with the under, and I think that bodes well for the Bears to cover that 10 points if it is a lower scoring game. So I'm taking the Bears with the 10, although I think the Cowboys ultimately win that game. I think Bears lose by less than 10 in that one. And the over-under 42.5, I'm going with the under. These defenses have been playing well, especially the Cowboys defense. And it's not like Dak came back last week and was, out there exploding on offense. It's not like this Cowboys team looks too explosive. So I'm going with the under if I had to choose there. And I'm going with Bears to cover that one with your Tim Crowley double dog hot dog bullshit there. So we'll see. Maybe next week he'll be eating baked clams. You never know. We're bouncing around here. You got a couple other games. You bring one up. Too bad you got the spread wrong. I'm going off of Bet Rivers. You say -3.5. I got Vikings -4. So we're going to go with the -4.
That was this morning. Things could change.
Yeah, I think you're moving the line with these, with all the OGs watching us right now. That line's really moving.
Yeah, it is up to Vikings -4. I still like it. I'll post that even.
They like the -3.5 so much they drove it up to -4. Why do you like the Vikings -4 in this one? And the over/under sits at 48.5. What's your gut feel on that?
Well, the Minnesota Vikings, when they're not in prime time and Kirk Cousins can't crap his pants, they play great football. This game's in their stadium today. They had a nice week off. Arizona, I've watched a couple games of theirs now, and they're one of the least exciting teams to watch in the league. Yes, I know they got DeAndre Hopkins back, but when you have that much firepower and what they think they do in Kyler Murray, they should be a lot more entertaining, and I'm just not seeing it. You look at the Vikings, Dalvin Cook's healthy right now. Who knows how long that's going to last for, but it's lasting. You got Justin Jefferson, who's already balling out with over 600 yards. You got Kirk Cousins, like I said, big games. If this was a Monday night game, Sunday night game, maybe won't trust him. But here, 12 o'clock Central Time, I'm giving up the 4 points. And at the same time, I think we'll see some pretty good offense from the Cardinals. So I think I would lean towards the over as well. So my bet on that, Vikings, my lock, giving up the 4. And then I probably take the over just because Arizona, like as much as I just talked down on them, they still have parts in play when they're from behind to be able to get it going. Obviously, DeAndre Hopkins helps. I'm looking at the injury reports now. I don't see anything crazy from a fantasy perspective. It looks like a couple Cardinals linemen, and a couple Vikings defenders. But yeah, give me the Vikings and give up all the points.
Yeah, I definitely like the over in that one. I think that these offenses will be ready to roll today. Kirk Cousins coming off a bye week last week, so he should be nothing short of refresh over there. 48.5 is very doable. Kyler Murray, although hasn't had the greatest of seasons, you know that he's a threat to put up big points at any point in time, not like the Broncos-Jaguars game we got going on right now, by the way, which is in London in the middle of the fourth quarter. Broncos do have a lead in that one, 14-10 for fantasy football. owners out there. Melvin Gordon has found his way into the end zone. Jerry Jeudy has as well. And that's really how it's broken down so far in this one. But getting back to the Vikings game, I like high scoring points, and that means I'm going with Minnesota as well. I think they outpace Arizona. I'd like laying the 4 today. I wish it was a little less because I could see Arizona maybe losing by 3, but I feel good enough where I am given that 4. And Vikings are a more superior team. Cliff Kingsbury is terrible. I think he continues to get out coached. I think that he will be one of the next head coaches fired, if not the next head coach fired. I know they just gave him a lot of money. Arizona fans probably don't want to hear that, but he has his team out coached every week, outmatched every week, out prepped every week, and not trending in the right direction. I just feel like Minnesota is the good one in that one. What say you on Raiders Saints? Raiders given 1. This one's a 1 o'clock Eastern kick. This one is the same exact over-under, believe it or not, laying at 48.5. You have the Red Rocket being named the starter for the Saints, Andy Dalton. Pretty underwhelming there, but hey, when Jameis is your starting quarterback, you never know when you need to step in when he's turning the ball over or playing banged up. And then Raiders, they're on the road, but they're a 1-point favorite. What say you? Do you agree that the Raiders should be favorites in this one?
Man, these two teams have been so disappointing to this point. I think this spread's pretty fair. I mean, Dale, with the injuries that New Orleans has right now, people are always just checking in and out of the lineup. It's like hard to keep up. It's like what's going on here? But Lattimore out, Landry out, Thomas out. You just can't sustain with that type of injuries. I know the Vegas Raiders haven't had Darren Waller for a little bit. He's probably out. I don't think it's official yet, but I'm going to assume he's not going to play in this game. But the Vegas Raiders found a way to run the ball last week against Lovie Smith Texans. Nothing to brag about there, but Josh Jacobs looked good. He's looked good pretty much all year, having over 600 yards rushing and 6 touchdowns. Derek Carr seems to find his groove. I like what Crosby brings on the defensive end. Devontae Adams, his stats are there being at over 500 yards. I am going to take the Vegas Raiders today, and I always try to pick NFC when I can to help my Colts out, but using logic here and, the few people who want to actually take my bet and advice, I'm going to go with the Vegas Raiders. They seem to be the better football team, not just only on paper right now, but also on the field. I don't think the extra few days off helps New Orleans too much. Andy Dalton is nice for a couple of games. But as we saw the turnover machine happen last week, I think that will continue into today, and the Raiders take care of business. On the over-under side of things, I would stay away from this over-under most likely, but if I had to choose one, I'll take the over. Similar to last game, I just could see a lot of points happening when one team's down big. So definitely love the Raiders, but don't love the over-under.
Mini MASH report time as inactives and actives have came out. MASH report brought to you by Sean O'Toole. Hey! Some key actives according to Field Yates. Amon St. Brown. He's playing. He's active today. Devontae Adams is active today. Dalton Schultz, Mr. One Catch a Game. He's playing today. Micah Parsons, Nelson Aguilar, and Matt Prater are active as well. So Cardinals get their kicker back. That means Rodrigo will he'll be homeless soon once again. And then inactive, you got Ezekiel Elliott, Darren Waller, and Joe Flacco. And Cowboys center Lloyd Cushenberry has been downgraded to out as well. So couple actives, couple inactives going on around the league there. Let us know your thoughts on any names you might have heard that are inactive or active that might surprise you there. Shout out to Christian Ruiz joining the Buccateers this morning as he joins us on Facebook talking through the show. So that's cool to see there. Corey Davis is also inactive, wide receiver for the Jets today. Not sure why anyone would want to start him in fantasy, but that's something if you needed to do, you can't do it now because he is out. So that's that on that. So we'll see. We'll keep you guys up to date if we hear anything else. Is Andrew Hernandez, the Hernimal, is tuned into the show right now on Facebook. So we appreciate you watching, Hearn.
How the hell is that lost soul doing?
We hope he's alive and well somewhere in the Illinois region, doing good things
Absolutely.
over there. So, Hearn, thanks for joining us this morning, buddy. We appreciate it. Uh, as we're looking through here now, Lions, Joey's team, Dan Campbell's, and Dolphins, and then this is going to be the last noon one we do, and then we're going to jump to the afternoon games. Is we got about 20 minutes left on the Buccateers here as we continue to dive deep into these games at a pretty good manner. So we're going to do one more noon game, then we're jumping into the 3 o'clockers, 4 o'clock Eastern times, and we're going to do tonight's game, Monday night's game, and a little fantasy chatter and bounce out of here. So last noon game, or 1 o'clock game, I should say, we're going to cover Dolphins at Lions. Mike McDaniel and company, 3.5-point favorites on the road at the Fightin' Dan Campbell's, the biting kneecaps, whatever you want to call them, sad sons of sacks of shit. Over under is 52. Over under, what else would you call Detroit? I mean, that he's going to get fired after this year for sure. I can't see them keeping Dan Campbell. Could you? I mean, maybe one more year, but what has that guy done to warrant keeping his job? Dolphins minus 3.5 at Detroit. Over under 52. Dolphins playing better football with Tua back again. What say you?
Yeah, this play today was going to be, it's a top 3 liking bet of mine, I'm sure, with a lot of people. I would definitely never bet Detroit in this game. I don't have one good reason to. The Dolphins get back, obviously. Tua, he played, I know he was up and down last week, but Pittsburgh in the primetime under Tomlin always comes out ready to play, unlike some of these Detroit teams. So I'm definitely giving up the 3.5, but I kind of like the under. 52 is a lot of points, and I know Detroit's defense isn't much to, really break down there at the same time. And Tyreek Hill is going absolutely berserk in terms of yards, being over 700. It's got to be top 3 in the league.
Not the first time he's went berserk in his life.
Yeah, and I mean, explosive. Don't know where you're going with that. I'm just going to stay with the word explosive. Dolphins minus 3.5. I like. Yes, I'm talking. You asked me a question. Back to the Dolphins. I like that minus 3.5, but I like the under. I'm not a big fan. I don't think either team will get 30.
Yeah, I had to step up your energy a little bit there, get you going a little bit, entice you a little bit. Had to be Mac McGee there a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Get after it a little bit. But no, I like the Dolphins laying the 3.5. I think this Lions team is deflated. I think that they're already kicking the can to next season already, and no one's biting kneecaps or fighting for Dan Campbell, it seems. So I like the Dolphins there. This over-under is hard, but I'd lean with the over, although I could see Miami absolutely winning like 40-9 or something. Oh, hey, our number one guy in the house, Mike from Canada. Dun, 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 dun. What up, Mike? How we doing, Mike? Thanks for joining as always. Joey's unfamiliar, but Mike's their number one regular. Mike actually challenged Huncho. He called out Huncho and wants to step into the ring with the Buccateers next episode. So Mike's going to join us on camera next week, and him and Huncho are going to have a nice little friendly back and forth.
Hopefully he does better than Anderson Silva.
Well, anyone could do better than Anderson Silva. That's like expecting. Yeah, we're not even going to go there at this point in time, but that's expecting some shenanigans over there. The way the boxing world is going right now, it's absolutely pathetic. I mean, these guys might be bringing in horse money here and there, these Logan Paul against Anderson Silva fights, but they're not real boxing. It's not real boxing, and it's a disgrace to the old time of boxing. So sad to see, but hey, you got to keep the sport alive. You got to make some money. So why not throw a couple of whack jobs in the ring and see what the hell happens? But Mike has a question for us. I'm the eternal optimism, but it looks like the Bucks ship is taken on water. How do Bucks plug the hole? Well, Your first problem, Mike, you think there's one hole. We need multiple plugs. There's holes all over their ship right now. You're looking defensively. Devin White's getting pushed back. If you put one finger on Devin White right now, he looks like one of those waveable things in the wind outside of now open furniture stores. That's how bad he looks. He looked terrible last week. Vita Vea obviously needs a co-partner for him to be more effective in the inside run game. Whenever Akeem Hicks gets healthy, that'll be dependent on that. You look at the secondary right now, it's very banged up. Doesn't sound like Davis will be back this week. Winfield has a concussion, and he's already missed 2 games because of that. So that's obviously a concern. And then you keep looking down that depth chart. Logan Ryan is on IR at this point in time. So he's not going to come back for several weeks either. And Anthony Chesley got placed on injured reserve as well. So it's looking pretty scarce for the defense right now. And by the way, Shaq Barrett's out for the year too. So not good stuff there. On offense, you have Tom Brady and Mike Evans looking discombobulated out there, not looking up to par. And that's never a good thing when you got these two type of Hall of Famers out there not on the same page. You got a run game that's one of the worst in NFL history, not only in the NFL right now, in NFL history, which is always a big concern. And then you're not turning the ball over, so that is one plus. You're not really making mistakes there, turning the ball over. So I guess the plugs you could find to fill these holes would be somehow getting Akeem Hicks back on the field, which will help Vita Vea increase his play, which should help Devin White increase his play, even though he's loafing out there clearly on some plays, and Todd Bowles has to call him out and take accountability for that, which he has not done yet. So Akeem Hicks coming back, Jesus, not much of a difference than that. But Akeem Hicks coming back. Michael Myers, what say you on this Bucks team? Too many holes to plug, or what's up?
Well, I just rather have stayed in Michael Myers mode than talk about the Buccaneers, as Michael Myers is always a man of a few words. But if you want my great opinion on that ship, it's concerning. But at the same time, a lot of season to go, and what is the worst division record-wise in all of football, 3 wins being the most as of today. So I would still bet them to win the division if we're looking at things from a money perspective. I don't know where they're at plus or where all the other teams are, but I would still take the Bucs to win the division as a betting man. And although I will say is get the running game going in any way you can. I don't know if Leonard Fournette ate a couple too many Hershey's and Kit Kats in the offseason that's preventing him from getting through, or if the offensive line's that bad.
Well, he looked good the first couple games, and then it's like, what the hell happened?
Exactly. I don't know if his motor just fell off. I don't know if the offensive line is just that bad. If Byron left, everything's playing a factor. But with an extra few days off, I still like this team to win the division at day's end. Will it be pretty? No. I would put it at 9 wins for them. So that would get them 6-3 the rest of the way. Yeah, I think they could do that. So I'll have the Bucs at 9-8 winning the division still. So there's still hope, Mike. I'll plug the hole for you, and we'll get out of that trap.
And Mike went to the Packers-Bucks game this year, so he single-handedly himself, seen a debacle in that one. But
contributed to the L.
But we're all on the bounce back train here, and it's hard to see a path to 6-3 in the last 9 at this point in time. But if anyone could do it, it'll be Tom Brady. He's still throwing decent balls here and there, and physically, I do think he's fine. So anyone who's saying he's washed physically just isn't seeing the game through the right lens. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, come on now. He's clearly making tight throws out there. It's his decision making that has been bad. And Mike says 9-8 record sounds awful for Brady standards. Well, you know what else sounds awful for Brady standards? Taking 11 days off in August, going to a wedding on a Friday night, being miscommunicated with Mike Evans. There's a lot of things that Brady isn't used to right now that's happening, Mike. So 9-8 out of the norm for Brady, sure, but at this point in time,
I think people would take it.
Yeah,
would take that.
I would take it. I don't see Carolina or Atlanta nor New Orleans really getting to 9, and if they do, I think we'll at least have a divisional record that should help us put us over the top against those pups. But Continue to get us your Bucks questions, fantasy questions, NFL questions, so much more. We're here for about 10 to 15 more minutes on the Buccateers, answering all your questions.
I
about
got a
NFL.
fantasy question.
What happened?
I got a fantasy question. What do you think about St. Brown playing for? We talked so badly about Detroit. It's like, do I play St. Brown or do I bench him for a guy like Darnell Mooney or Hunter Renfro?
You're not playing me in this league, are you?
No, this is a league we're not in together.
Cool. Okay, so
Come
going
on
with
now.
that,
Even if not, give me some cheddar.
I can't play Mooney right now unless I have Justin Fields as my quarterback in a super flex league and want to try and get a double bubble there. I find it hard to convince myself to play Mooney, especially when you're going up against Cowboys defense. That's a
I got
tough draw.
Metcalf too.
And then Hunter Renfro just really hasn't moved the needle for me this year. So I'd say let that guy ride some pine right now. Metcalf, although it says he might play today and he's trending towards playing.
Yep, he is going to play.
That was such a bad injury last week, and it seemed to be worse than it was. So you never know how big of a pitch count he will be on. Only way he won't be out there is if he suffers a setback in pregame warmup. So he should be out there. I'm going with Amon-Ra St. Brown. When he's played the last year and a half, he's looked fantastic for Detroit, and I think that Detroit will be playing from behind today. So I think they'll have to try pushing the ball down the field. To these 3 o'clockers, Commanders at Colts. The Redskins are plus 2.5. The over-under is 40. It's Taylor Heineke. It's Sam Ellinger. Washington football, whatever the hell you want to call this team. But the Redskins are getting 2.5 at Indy, over-under 40. Sam Ellinger, Taylor Heineke. At the beginning of the year, this is one of those matchups you circle. It's like, oh, cool, Carson Wentz going back to Indianapolis. But now you get Taylor Heineke and Sam Ellinger, who's mini Taylor Heineke. What say you in this one? Redskins are getting 2.5 on the road, over under 40. Are your boys going to cover the spread? And you think they're going to do it high scoring, low scoring, or somewhere in between?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be honest here. My answer is going to be completely biased. I would stay away from this game, just not knowing what the heck we're going to get from either of these quarterbacks. Heineke's a nice guy, a great backup. He played really good last week down the stretch against Green Bay, but I could see that going either way. Sam Ellinger, smart kid on Texas, 6th-round pick. We don't know what to expect. There's not a lot of tape of him, never taken an NFL snap in a regular season game. So it's a very up for grabs game. That being said, like I said earlier, there's not many people. I don't want to see a 13-7, a 17-10. I want to go for some more points. Washington's top tackler is out today, so that's a big injury for them. Darius Leonard inserted back into the lineup for the Colts, so a nice little switch there. And
remember, that's the reason Chase Young's still out too.
Correct. So that's the reason why I'm going to take the Colts. And I know it's been flirting between 2.5 and 3. If it's currently at 2.5, like you say, I'm going to give up those 2.5 and take it instead of trying to eat the whole entire 3. I think that's a pretty big factor. I think the Colts come away in this game. I'll go around 24-17. So that would put it at 41. So I guess I'm taking the over, even though I wouldn't touch that. But 24-17 Colts I'll go with. And will be a pretty good debut for Sammy E. Texas forever.
I'll tell you what prop bet I like in that Colts game.
What prop bet you like it?
Sam Ellinger over 249.5 passing and rushing yards combined.
Yeah, you're like salivating. Jeez, what the heck's...
That one sounds pretty good over there. That one sounds better than...
Oh, my eyes!
Well, you don't know what to expect with these teams. You could easily see a 13-7 type ball game, or you could easily see a higher scoring type ball game because Washington Redskins defense is terrible. But I do think that Ellinger, whether he struggles or not today, you'd have to play a really bad game to not get to 249.5 passing and rushing yards, right? Like that should be pretty easy for him to do.
Yeah, that would be pretty sad.
Because I've seen him in person live this year against the BUCS in the preseason in August. He had a beautiful run against us, and that would have got him roughly a third or a fourth on that one run alone to his over-under total today in combined passing and rushing yards. And I know it's preseason. I know it's against not as high as level of that competition, but I'd almost rather have Bucks backups. Well, never mind. I wouldn't rather have Bucks anyone's right now than anyone on Washington. But Washington defense is like Swiss cheese out there, so you do have a chance to shine on that. And Riverboat Ron is fighting for his life. So give me the Colts. I'm going. I know it sounds like a shrimp bet, but I'd take Colts money line in this one. And I would take, yeah, I know. Over under, I'd stay away from, because to me,
Absolutely.
40 points is, not really enticing either way. And I could see it being an under, but what fun is it to root for under 40 in a game like that? And Mike has a couple comments. I hope the Bills shred the Cheeseheads. Bills win would cushion the Bucks loss. You the man, Mike. You're just
Packers aren't even in the division.
That's why I love Mike. Always looking at it with the glass half full approach. The man was at Bucks Packers this year. Give him some credit. He's seen a loss to the Packers with his own eyes. So Mike is saying, maybe these guys could lose today and make me a little more happy about myself. So Mike, we're with you here, buddy. We want to see that one as well. We're going next now to Seahawks Giants, the fighting Pete Carrolls and Geno Smith against Big Brian Daboll roaming into town. Over under only 44. It's in Seattle. It's at 4:25 Eastern. Seattle is given 3. 2 of the biggest surprise teams in the NFL to this point. Joey, what say you on this one? Giants, Seattle laying the 3, over under 44.
I was starting to like Seattle. Everyone just all over them. They're just blowing loads, thinking they're going to go all the way in this division. Not so fast, my friends. Geno Smith has been good, but it's not going to continue out throughout a season. I don't see his stats at the end of the day being around 24 touchdowns and 5 interceptions, which his projection is slightly around right now. I don't see that lasting. Daniel Jones, on the other hand, doesn't even have the best stats. He has 6 touchdowns, 2 picks. He's playing keep away football. They're 6-1 under Daboll. I love him. He should get the coach of the year on top of that. Barkley, that's huge. The only way the Giants continue to roll this train out there is if he's healthy. Well, guess what? He's healthy today. Over 700 rushing yards. I'm loving the Giants +3. The Seattle thing, I was starting to feel, but I feel like too many people are already there with them. And like I said, like the league Corso, not so fast. Yes, my friends. He missed yesterday. The Seahawks will miss today. Let's make it a 0-for-3. Giants cover. Give me all the points. I would even consider the Giants money line, even though that probably wouldn't be too high. But since they're getting points, I like the Giants. I like their money line. And over/under, I like the over.
You can't take him today, the Giants, and I'll tell you why right now. Their travel is so far today. That time zone is so different for them today. I love the Giants, and if this game's in New York, I'm taking them 10 times out of 10. And if I were to bet, as Mike says, Huncho is a closet Seahawks fan. Geno is playing way over his head. Yeah, Mike and Huncho says Geno Smith is playing good. Mike says not so fast. I haven't seen enough from Geno yet. So that's why they've been going at it the past couple. But let me retain myself here.
What was Christian's comments?
Keep blowing loads, Seattle. We got naughtiness going all over the place here.
Trick or treat.
Yeah, we got loads being blown by Seattle. We got Huncho against Mike in a battle over Geno Smith. But man, let's reel it in here quick. We only got about 6 minutes left. I'm going with Seattle in this one. I think that at home, Giants, such a far travel, and they're playing such good football. But Kenneth Walker, to me, is a hell of a rookie running back. And to me, the Seattle team is only going to strengthen over time. That's like a hippie Michael Myers mask at this point. But I think Seattle's only going to strengthen over time with Kenneth Walker, doing his thing out there, running the ball well. I think he's one of
He is playing really good football. I do want to give him a shot as well.
So give me Seattle in that one, and give me the over in that one, 44 points. I think the over comes in. Couple more games here quick. Texans at the Titans. You got Malik Willis, the rookie QB, getting the nod in that one against one of the better rookie QBs from last year's draft class, surprisingly, in Davis Mills. Texans are +1 at home in this one. Battle of the AFC South, big game for the Colts, believe it or not. Over-under is 39.5 in this affair. Over-under and spread, who you got?
Yeah, I call this the battle of the QBs who will not be in the NFL in 2027. So that's how I'm going to start that one.
You know Mike
Uh,
Lennon's still in the NFL?
Yeah, like I said,
Just wanted to
2000.
make sure.
Okay, you are correct there. But no, in all seriousness, this is a game where I'm loving Lovie Smith today. No pun intended there. I think he's going to bring his boys to play. I'm trying to say this with a straight face as much as possible. Damian Pierce over 500 yards. Davis Mills, he's 7 touchdowns, 5 picks. It's, he's playing low cheddar ball. He's really not throwing it around the field too much.
No one to throw to, man.
Yeah, I'm getting a loss for words, but I'm gonna pull on the heartstrings of Lovey. He got this job for a reason. He didn't get
Well, he
this
got
job
it because no one else was left to hire, and they were going to get crucified.
He passed all the interviews with flying colors. This man is here for the people of Houston. I'm taking the Texans, and also I'm taking the under in what will be a 14-10 Houston W.
This Mike is still going off on the Packers here. I love it.
God, get off the pack.
My hate for the Packers, not just because Bucks lost. It's my entire family. That makes sense.
Packers fans are awful.
And Mike is a Cubs and Blackhawks fan as well. So, there you go. Mike's from our area, and we respect that with Mike. He's a Bulls fan as well, I would assume. So, good job there, Mike. But I'm going.
What's going on in that Jags-Denver game?
Nothing good. Lovie Smith is a total coward, though. This is a man who's had a chance to win multiple games this year. Go for it on 4th down against the Colts early on in the year. He punted. He played for a tie week 1 against the Colts, and he lucked into this job. He blew at U of I. He sucked with the BUCS. His last 2 jobs have been failures. David Coley got the short end of the stick because he was trying to win games. And the Texans wanted a coach who would make them worse, so they turned to Lovie Smith. Yeah. There's no one left at that point in time last year when Lovie backed his way into that job. They wanted to hire McCown. They wanted to hire Hines Ward. The league said, no, you can't be that dumb. They looked around. Every other coach in the world was hired by that point in time. They seen Lovie was doing nothing and how bad he had that defense playing last year, so they figured, hey, this guy could get us a pretty good draft pick. Let's go out there and get Lovie Smith. And, that's just that. So give me although I'm rooting for Houston, I really am, and I want them to win for the Colts purposes. I think the Titans win this one with Malik Willis at quarterback, -1. Over under 39.5. I'd go with the over there. Rooting for the Texans, but if I'm not going to, actually, fucking give me Lovie. Let's go, Lovie. Let's roll it. Lovie. That coward is going to do some crap this week to, get that scared look off his face. I don't feel confident in that one, but I'm going with the over and the Texans if I had to pick. One final comment. The best part of Green Bay is the road out of it.
Give it up.
Yeah.
Just give it up.
Mike, the only problem with that is it's a congested-ass road, so you're sitting in there for hours and hours.
We might be getting some overtime football here.
Yeah, we got Broncos are going in, or Jaguars, or what's going on here? Broncos are going in.
Broncos are now on the 2-yard line. They're going to get a touchdown probably. Sheesh.
Yeah, it looks like they're on the 2, and Russell Wilson, Mr. Unlimited, is trying to get that team into the end zone to take a 4-point lead. I hope we get overtime balls somehow, though, but
I agree.
Doesn't look likely. Rams at Niners, Niners at Rams. Niners have owned the Rams of late. That's been their kryptonite. Who you liking in this one before we move to tonight's game, Monday night's game, and head out of here? Niners, Rams.
I'm liking the Rams off a bye week. A lot of people are down on them right now, calling them abysmal in all categories. Listen, they're still the defending champs. The 49ers have not put it all together that well either with Jimmy G quite yet as he continues to play up and down ball. Rams a little more healthy today. I think at home helps. Then that being said, I really actually like them. That's another one of my top 3. So I really like the Vikings. I really like Miami. And I really like Los Angeles and what seems to be a pick 'em. I also like the over. I would take a lot of money on that over being at 42. I think that is way too low. I know Stafford has not played well. He has 6 touchdowns and 8 picks. They got to have a breakout game, though. Cooper Kupp has 56 catches and over 600 yards. That should continue. I think they got Cam Akers out of there, some bad juju away. I like the injury report isn't too bad either for the Rams. For San Fran, you still guys got guys out like Juzek, Greenlaw, and Armstead. That's going to hurt today. Give me the Rams and give it all up. Let's go, LA.
And we got an update in the London game as Latavius Murray just dragged Jaguars defenders for 2 yards across the goal line to give the Broncos a 2017 lead, permitting an extra point.
Missed the extra
by
point.
Brandon McManus, and we'll have you guys updated on that.
He made it.
Here, well, all right, well, Jesus, I haven't even seen it come across the screen yet, you jag-off.
I'm just on ESPN.com.
Yeah, thanks for ruining that one. Jesus, it's like, come on now. We know that happens well too often around these necks of the woods. 49ers, I'm taking them -0.5 point. I think that they're a superior ball club to this Rams team. I think they've been better the past couple of years in these head-to-head matchups. Particularly 49ers have been the more dominant team. I'm taking them today. I think they win this game by 10 points. That's how much I think they beat the Rams by today. I think this Rams team looks a little discombobulated up there. They have one of the worst offensive lines in football. And, you know, their free agent signings, much like the BUCS, seemed a little over the hill when they brought him in this offseason. Allen Robinson is a non-factor at this point. Give me Jimmy G and the boys giving a 0.5 point on the road, and give me the over 41.5 points in that one as well. I don't care what your thumbs do, so you can keep thumbing up, down, and all around, my friend. Sunday Night Football, Packers, Aaron Rodgers, 10.5 point dogs on the road, 47.5 point over under there. So this game is interesting to the eye because Rodgers has never been this big of an underdog in his NFL career. Real quick before you get into bets you like, I'll say my one prop bet I like in that game, Mason Crosby over 5.5 points. So if Crosby gets 2 field goals, or if he gets 1 field goal and 3 extra points, that bet comes in. Give me Mason Crosby over 5.5 total points. As Brian Hancock is tuned in. Thank you, B-Han.
Hey.
Joey, what say you? Packers plus 10.5 on the road, over under 47. And do you like the Crosby prop bet that I highlighted, over 5.5 points?
Don't bet kickers. Not big on kickers. So
well, that's not the question. The question was, do you like the bet? Not don't bet kickers. And
sure. Since I like Green Bay, I'll take the prop bet. Sure, why not? Like I alluded to earlier, I'm all about the double-digit dogs today, and that includes Green Bay because Aaron Rodgers is still a dog at the end of the day. And when you're getting 10.5 points, I don't care who you're playing, I am not going to give all those up. I've been fooled before. A lot of people I know are down on the Pack, but today they will not win, but they will keep it closer than the experts think. I'm taking Green Bay Packers.
And it looks like Trevor Lawrence just turned the ball over.
He turned it over?
It looks like the Jaguars lose probably based on a Trevor Lawrence turnover, and that's his second
interception all the time.
And that's your guy, Joe. That's the guy that you said would be ascending in a starter.
And you said Trey Lance would be ascending too, buddy.
And his ceiling is still there. It's not our fault.
So is Lawrence.
With, yeah. Passes like that. Yeah.
No, but yeah, Lawrence would be a lot. But give me the Pack and the under.
I'll take the points as well. I think Buffalo wins this one, but I think Packers cover. And give me the over. I think that this one's an old-fashioned over for some reason. Trevor Lawrence, such a joke over there. Mike says, have a great day, guys. Be safe and go Bucks. And then in parentheses, he says Bills.
Mike and Mike.
That's our Mike and Mike. That's our guy right there. We're not talking about the one Mike that got the boot from ESPN and then the one commie that's still at ESPN. We're talking about our guy Mike D and Mike Myers in the building. So Bengals at Browns, Monday Night Football, last game to cover. Halloween night, you could expect some spookiness here. You could expect some crazy stuff probably in this one, or maybe not. Joe, who do you like? Browns are getting 3 points, and the over-under here is 45.
Yeah, well, Joe had to go, so Mike's going to take over on this one.
All right, you're just getting skipped. No, I'm kidding. Go off, man, but could barely hear you. It's like, gee.
Give me the Bengals and take it all. I have not been impressed with Cleveland. I was listening to a local show yesterday, and some guy said if they get Deshaun Watson back, that watch out for them. It's like, yeah, they're gonna keep getting buried. They have 2 wins on the season. Yeah. Now Jamar Chase being out, that is gonna that hurts. That hurts a lot. Jamar Chase being out hurts a lot. That being said, I'll take the Bengals, and I'll take the under. Bengals and the under.
Yeah, it's Halloween, so you never know. Something spooky happens. I like the under in this one, and I like the Bengals given the 3 in this one. The Browns just aren't playing that great of football, so give me the Bengals and give me the under as well, and I'll highlight a prop bet. Joe, you do have a question from Mike D. You have the Bucks in your background, the Texans in your background, but you got a Colts hoodie on. What's your fandom? Who you representing?
Oh, well, I'm not even at my house. I'm at the parents' crib today, actually. So, I'm just getting associated Mike. But to answer your question, Indy all the way and always. Been a fan for a very long time. I as well do not like the Packers, even though I am an Indianapolis Colts fan. But bleeding blue since 99. So go Colts. Everything in the background is nothing to me.
He's a Bucks guy too, though, Mike. Don't let him fool you.
I am a Bucks guy, but he asked me who my favorite team was.
Yeah, but you were insulted.
I don't know why that little Texan. I don't know why that Texans helmet is there. That's insulting to me. So you can shove that Texans helmet.
The question was for you.
Why did you put? Why is this helmet that I'm trying to point to?
I'm wondering the same thing. You're a Colts fan with the Texans helmet. And now the Broncos, they have it 4th and 1. They could ice the game. Is Nathaniel Hackett going to go for it? Or is he going to kick the field goal here? I swear to God, if this jackwagon passes on the field goal to make it a 7-point game, holy crap. But prop bet I like tomorrow night before we head out of here. And Mike says, Hunch and Joe kind of sketchy tone, just saying.
Yeah, well, Mike, go Packers.
Oh, Mike,
Not my fault you saw a loss.
Mike, I know we got to get rid of these clowns, man, but give me Joe Mixon touchdown score tomorrow night is a prop bet of the night in that one. Joe, any last words here for Week 8 NFL Sunday before we wrap up, head off, and get out of here?
Well, Mike will clearly probably be rooting for Washington, but I really need a big Indianapolis win today. I really need Sammy E to come through. 3:25 game. I'm going to be enjoying the noon games. Take a lot out of those. It's going to be a good, great, grand. Ooh, boom, 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 boom. All right. That's all I got. Go Colts, baby.
You could go more, man. It's just music playing. Don't be.
No, I thought something was playing in my background. My heart started racing. I started panting that something was going on over here. But no, I'm going to enjoy the football today. The game I'm looking forward to most outside of the Colts Commanders game. Honestly, I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued by Bears Dallas being a local guy. I want to see if the Bears can put together back-to-back performances or if Dallas will just run over and stampede.
And I think the Broncos just sealed this game on a 4th and 1. This Jagoff coach didn't get my field goal kicker in fantasy a field goal. Hate this guy, man. I hate Nathaniel Hackett. Although at least I won my bet. I didn't get that fantasy field goal I was hoping for. It's been a fun edition of the Buccateers Halloween show, Week 8, NFL, fantasy, score predictions, over-unders, gambling advice, and so much more. We've had a great audience tonight. Mike, Neil, Christian Ruiz joined the show. James Hearn watching. And we got Brian Hancock and many others in the building as well. So enjoy NFL today. It's already week 8. You've been tuned in on either Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, BUCS Life Media, so much more. Everybody have a safe and scary Halloween tomorrow, hopefully. And we hope all your teams win today, unless you're in the NFC South, or unless you're Mike and you're rooting against the Packers. We'll see what happens. But you can follow us on Twitter at Buccateers. Follow us on Instagram at Buccateers Pod. Follow us on YouTube at Buccateers Podcast for your latest and greatest Bucs news. Get at us on Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and so much more. This has been the Buccateers with Joey Nips and Michael Myers, I guess, joining the show this morning. And it's been Tampa Tones here, and we just had some fun on an NFL Sunday. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you guys joining the show. Peace out. And as always, go Bucs. And today for Joey Nips' sake,
Go Colts.
so he doesn't have a heart attack. Go Colts. Let's do it. Game on Sunday, man. I know you're nervous for the Rams, but you got to be a little enthusiastic after being there.
Bro, that game atmosphere was just ridiculous. The energy, the electricity. That place was rocking. Anyone was there, and a lot of the Super Buck fans were there too. The Bucks.
Tampa Tones. We are joined by lead goon tonight, host of the Pat and Aaron Show of WDAE, Pat Donovan. And it sounds like Stunna is bumbling a little bit. Going to put him on mute for a second until that gets a little cleared. But we're joined by Pat
It looks like
Donovan.
Stunna's hanging out with Cheech and Chong in a car with the windows up or something over there.
It does.